Hey, how's it guys? In this tutorial, I'll show you how to use Azure Storage API to upload a folder along with all the files in subfolders while maintaining the hierarchy. Alright, so here in my project folder, I've designed a folder called dbt. Inside this folder, I have a list of subfolders that also containing either just files, or there may be additional folders that I need to upload to my storage container. Now open your code editor and go ahead and create a blank Python script. Alright, so first I'm going to import the Python packages and we increase the font size. Now for this automation script, I'll be importing the OS module. From azure.storage.blob, I'm going to import the blob service client module. And if you don't have Azure Storage blob Python package installed, then you can install the library using the command pip install azure-storage-blob. Now from the azure.core.exceptions module, I'm also going to import this resource access exception type. Now let me go back to my storage account. Alright, so under my this GJ demo account containers, I want to upload this dbt folder. Let me go back. I want to upload this dbt folder along with all the files and subfolders include in this folder while maintaining the hierarchy. Alright, so let me go back to my Azure Storage account. Now from the containers page, we want to scroll down to access keys. And here I'm going to generate a new set of key. And I'll copy the connection string. Alright, so here going back to my Python script, I'm going to create a variable called storage connection string. And I'll paste the connection string. Then I'm going to create the blob service client using the blob service client class. And to authenticate my account, so I'm going to pass the connection string to the found connection string method. Next, I'm going to create a variable called container ID. And it's going to be the container that I intended to upload the folder to. Right, so here let me go back to containers. And I'll go ahead and grab this containers name. Now from the blob service client object, I can use the get container client method, and I'll pass the container ID to construct the containers reference. This is going to be create container reference or entity. Now I want to create two more variables. The first one is going to be override. So this override variable is going to determine whether or not I want to override the existing file if the file exists in the container. Next, I'll construct the directory path pointing to this dbt folder. Alright, so here I'm going to use the os.path.join method, and I'll join my project folder directory with the folder name that I want to upload to my Azure Storage account. Alright, so I'll name this as target directory. Now, to rearrange all the files and the subdirectories, we can use the os.walk method, and here I'll provide the target directory. Alright, so let's take a look. So if I insert a loop, I'll say for folder. So let's do object. So for object, from this output right here, and here I'll simply print the object. Now let me go ahead and run this code block. Now if we look at the outputs, so based on the walk method and based on the given directory, it's going to print the file path of all the files and folders. Now if we look at this item right here, so I'm going to put that right here. So when you use the os.walk method to generate the directory tree, the first element is going to be the file path pointing to the file. And the last item is going to be the file names in a list. Inside the first item, actually this is going to be the folder path that containing the files, not the file path. All right, so basically we can interpret this as these are the files located inside this folder path right here. And once we have all the folder path, so we can iterate each file given the folder path. So here I can say for file in, actually let me name these two folder, and that'll be a little bit more appropriate. And here we can say for file in folder, I want to reference the files. It's going to be the last element. Now under the second loop, I want to insert try except block. All right, so here for the exception, I'm going to check against the resource exists error. So you're going to run into this resource exists error when you're trying to upload a file that is already exists in a container. So if you run into this error, then I want to print a message blob followed by the file name. Already exists that format. And now insert the blob path, which I'll create that in the try block. And print, then I want to continue to the next iteration. Alright, so let's go back to the try block. Now here I want to construct the blob path variable. And it's going to be the file address inside the container. Alright, so here when I upload a file, I want this dbt folder to be the root directory. Alright, so here let's do this. So I'm going to construct the blob path. And I want to replace the directory path. Right, so if I run this line here, and I haven't created the folder variable yet. Right, so let's do this. I'm going to put a break right here. Right, so if I run this line here, that should be fine. And based on this directory path, I want to get rid of the project folder path, and which is going to be this portion right here. And I want to keep this in the dbt folder as the root path. Right, so here we can use the replace function. And I want to replace the project folder path, and which is going to be this output right here, along with these backward slashes with empty string. And I'll concatenate the output with the file name. And this blob path is going to be the location of this file right here. Now I can take out the break statement and construct the blob object. Now from the blob service client object, I can use the get blob client method to create the blob object. And here I need to specify the container, and it's going to be container ID and the blob location, and this will be blob path. The next step is going to construct the file content to actually create a file. And to do that, so here I'm going to insert a wait statement. I want to open the file first. So here I can use the os.path.join function, and I'll provide the folder path with the file name. And for the mode, we need to set that as read binary. Now name this as file data. Now to construct the actual file, from the blob object, we need to use the upload blob method and provide the file data object. Now from the upload blob method, there's a parameter called override. So we can use this parameter to indicate that if we want to override an existing file, if the file exists. And for the parameter value, I'm going to insert the override variable right here. And that'll be it. Alright, so this is going to be the entire script and only 26 lines of code. And the reason why I'm importing this resource exists here, in this case, I don't actually need it. And that's because sometimes if you want to manually adjust how you want to handle this scenario, And you don't want to use this override parameter, which does not give you any notification or any notice to tell you which file is getting override. Alright, so let me terminate this session. Alright, so let me refresh the page. Now if I go ahead and press F5 to run the script, now it looks like the script is finished. And if I go back to my container, and here's the dbt folder, along with all the subfolders and all the files inside each folder. So this is going to be everything I'm going to cover in this video, and hopefully you guys find this video useful. And feel free to post your question or feedback in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.